Hi everyone, it's Love Always. The question was asked, how do we forgive? And each time, I can say that I can relate to that question because I would always feel that every day I feel like I'm having to forgive the same thing, or I'm still having emotions or feeling some type of way about something, or still having that hurt. And what I can tell you is just because you still have those emotional connections to something that happened, a bad experience, does not mean that you are not forgiving. The forgiving part is in your actions and taking it day by day. You have to take each day as they come. Just because you might have an explosion or vent does not mean that you can't recoup or keep on going in your forgiveness process. But it takes time. It does not happen overnight. Some things might be depending on the level of seriousness it is. However, I can give you a story. My someone borrowed used to borrow money from me all the time. They would never pay it back, which was not a big deal to me because my thing was if I can't afford to lend it, then if it's gonna bother me that they don't give it back, then I won't lend it type of thing. Well, this person would, and I would always get into it. They would accuse me of something or hallucinate. I knew they were a pathological liar and they had that history, but they was family. And I thought, that it's family, you be there for family. And I love this person. And I understood why this person did it. They had a terribly abusive background. And I know that that was their way of functioning in life. So I didn't want to hold that against them. But when it came to a point of this person did something and took it out on my children, I was hurt, I was frustrated, I was pissed, and that, I allowed this person to use me. So what I had to do was I stopped helping that person. And when I stopped helping that person, then that person tried to run my name through the ground, try to attack me when they see me. I will fight back, of course, but everybody thing would piss me off is y'all need to stop. Not y'all, because I was doing every effort to always make peace. And when this person would jump off and haul off and attack me, why does it have to be y'all as if I'm doing something to ignite this person or make this person I'm trying to walk away. You clearly see me walking away and saying I'm getting in my car and this person punching at my car and all this other stuff, but you're saying y'all as if I'm doing something. So to rectify that, as far from me, was I just stopped coming around. And everybody thing was it shouldn't be that you can't come to such, events and things. No, because you guys are gonna say y'all when I'm not trying to do anything. All I have to do is sneeze the wrong way. Like there's a right or a wrong way to do that. And then it's gonna be y'all because she pops off at me. So I stopped having anything to do with that person being in those areas. And people say, oh, you got to learn to forgive. That has nothing to do with forgiveness. That has everything to do with setting boundaries and whether I allow someone to walk over those boundaries or not walk over them. It has everything to do with also do not be easily provoked to anger. Well, if I know that that situation is going to provoke us to anger, whether it's me or her, then it's better not to even put myself in that position or her in that position. That still is a part of forgiveness. Separating and letting people go, sometimes you have to do that to walk out your forgiveness. Now, mind you that some years had went by. I didn't have anything to do with that, like totally nothing to do with that person. I would hear of progress from that about that person, and then when that person reached out to me, asked for forgiveness, I forgave them, and slowly but surely, we did things together. I lent things here and there, but I said, "Don't worry, you don't have to pay it back," type thing. And then it came to a point to where she really needed some help, and I really helped her. And in my head, it was like, if she doesn't pay it back, I'm not worried about it. Well, she did. And then she did the next time. And so now she had built up a reputation with me that we were on better terms. So something happened that she needed me to, do for her. And everything was fine. out of nowhere, in the middle of her paying me back, she just stopped talking to me. I don't know what happened. All I know is I get these rumors that I'm accused of something, but nobody can't tell me what it is. And that part hurts me because everybody's like, y'all again, and you knew better than to help her. What was, I had no reason to hold her past against her anymore. I had no, she had built that reputation up with me. But my thing for me was eventually, as time went along, I found out someone instigated something, and rather than her coming and talking to me about it, which really it didn't even come from me. It had nothing to do with me. But my name was put in the place of someone else's name. It hurt, but I don't think so much as it hurt for me from her. It hurt for me from everyone else who likes to say y'all. I still kind of felt like they were just as accountable. So rather than just cutting her off, because yes, she's an adult, she is responsible for her own actions. I cut them all off because they are not acknowledging or being accountable for how they are instigators to the whole situation and participation in the whole situation. So rather than being a help and a healing, they're more damaging. And I know that they're damaging to her because she said it to me and she said it to them before. And it's hurtful and damaging to me. So I changed my whole circle all around. And to me, that's still forgiveness. Like it or not, people might say different, but of course they're going to say different because they want you to give them the right to walk all over them and uh, you to give them the right to walk all over you and to disrespect you and to treat you any kind of way. And I say, no hall passes here, no waivers, and no grace periods. I have to take care of me, and I encourage you to forgive and not live your forgiveness by the definition of the myth and the lies that have been taught to us about what it is. Because forgiveness is not really about letting go. It's about letting go of the pain and the hurt that is attached to keep us in that in that constant reminding and reliving. But it's not about forgetting the pain of it that that you don't want to relive that again. Like if I put my hand in the fire, I learned what that fire felt like. I know the what it I have a fear of that. And when I see fire again, I'm not trying to go play with it or be in it. That's fire. What people do to us is fire. Huh? You learn to forgive, but forgiving is a daily process, and you really forgiveness, like I said, is for you. Well, if you forgive and let go and let them back in your life and do the same things, then it's really not for you. So then that's not forgiveness of you having to be around those people or in those situations. So forgiving is being able to accept something. Just because you accept it does not mean you approve it. You accept and see things for what they are, and that you make the choice of if you're going to approve and still be around them, or that situation allowed to continue, or disapprove and do something about it to make change.